If you have less than $50,000 saved for retirement, you are not alone. In fact, that puts you ahead of almost half the country. But today, I am not talking about the average person. Today, I am talking about the top 10%, the retirees who did everything right, the ones who sleep easy at night, who never check their bank account with a knot in their stomach, who spend their golden years actually living instead of worrying. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly where you stand and exactly what to fix if you are not there yet. This is Knox, and welcome back to the channel where we break down money, retirement, and financial freedom in a way that actually makes sense. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and it tells me you want more videos like this one. And if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications, because every single week, I am breaking down the real numbers behind retirement, savings, and building wealth that lasts. Alright, let us get into it. Here are the 6 signs that you are ahead of 90% of retirees in America today. Sign number 1. Your net worth is at least 5 times your annual expenses. Most people obsess over their salary, but salary does not matter once you retire. What matters is your net worth compared to what you actually spend. Here is the benchmark the top 10% hit. If your yearly expenses are $60,000, your net worth sits at $300,000 or higher, not counting your primary home. That is the 5 times multiplier. Why 5 times? Because at a conservative 4% withdrawal rate, that net worth generates enough income to cover your lifestyle indefinitely, without ever touching the principal in a dangerous way. Most retirees never hit this number. According to multiple retirement studies, the median retirement account balance for Americans nearing retirement age is shockingly low, often under $200,000 total. So if you are sitting comfortably above 5 times your annual spending, you are already outperforming the vast majority of people your age. And here is the part nobody tells you. It is not about how much you make. It is about the gap between what you earn and what you keep. The top 10% did not necessarily earn more. They simply kept more, invested more, and let time do the heavy lifting. Sign number 2. You have zero high-interest debt. This one sounds simple, but it separates the top 10% from everyone else more than almost anything on this list. Credit card debt, personal loans, anything sitting above 7 or 8% interest. If you retire with that hanging over your head, it does not matter how much you saved, because that debt is quietly eating your retirement alive every single month. The average American retiree still carries some form of debt into retirement. Many are still paying off credit cards well into their 60s and 70s, but the top 10% made a decision years earlier. They treated high-interest debt like a fire that needed to be put out immediately, not a smoldering ember they could ignore. If you are debt-free, or your only remaining debt is a low-interest mortgage you are comfortable with, you are already playing a completely different game than most retirees. Debt freedom is not just a financial position, it is a psychological one. It means your income in retirement goes toward living, not toward interest payments to a bank. Sign number 3. You have multiple income streams, not just Social Security. Here is an uncomfortable truth. A massive percentage of retirees rely on Social Security for the majority, sometimes almost all, of their retirement income. And Social Security alone was never designed to fully fund a comfortable retirement. It was designed as a supplement. The top 10% understood this decades before they retired, so they built additional income streams. This could look like a pension, rental income from a property, dividend income from a well-built stock portfolio, a part-time consulting gig doing something they actually enjoy, or withdrawals from a diversified retirement account like a 401k or an IRA. The specific combination does not matter as much as the principle behind it. Relying on one single source of income in retirement is fragile. Relying on 3 or 4 sources is resilient. If one stream slows down, you are not scrambling, because the others are still there holding things steady. If you have built more than one leg for your retirement income to stand on, you are already ahead of the curve. Sign number 4. You have a real healthcare and long-term care plan, not just hope. This is the one that quietly destroys more retirements than almost anything else, and barely anyone talks about it enough. Healthcare costs in retirement are not small. Estimates consistently show that a retired couple can expect to spend well over $250,000 on healthcare expenses throughout retirement, and that number does not even include long-term care, like assisted living or a nursing facility, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars every single year. Most retirees have not truly planned for this. They assume Medicare covers everything. It does not. It has gaps, deductibles, and does not cover most long-term care situations at all. The top 10% did their homework. They looked into supplemental insurance. They considered long-term care insurance while they were still healthy enough to qualify for reasonable rates. They built a specific healthcare bucket within their retirement savings, separate from their everyday spending money. If you have already accounted for healthcare as its own distinct category, with a real plan and real numbers behind it, rather than just hoping for the best, you are miles ahead of most people entering retirement. Sign number 5. You know your exact withdrawal strategy. Saving money is only half the equation. The other half, the half most people never plan for, is how you actually take that money back out without running out too soon or paying more in taxes than necessary. The top 10% do not just wing it in retirement. They know their withdrawal order, typically pulling from taxable accounts first, then tax-deferred accounts like traditional 401ks and IRAs, and leaving tax-free accounts like Roth IRAs to grow as long as possible. They understand required minimum distributions, and they plan around them instead of being surprised by them. They know roughly what tax bracket they will land in each year, and they adjust their withdrawals to avoid unnecessary tax spikes. Most retirees simply pull money whenever they need it, without a strategy, and end up paying significantly more in taxes over their lifetime as a result, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars more. If you already have a clear, intentional withdrawal strategy mapped out, you are operating on a level that most retirees never reach. Sign number 6. Your lifestyle costs less than your retirement income, with room to spare. This is the ultimate test, and it is simpler than people think. If your guaranteed income, from Social Security, pensions, dividends, and safe withdrawals, comfortably covers your actual monthly expenses, with a cushion left over for the unexpected, you have won the retirement game. Most retirees live closer to the edge than they would like to admit, where a single unexpected expense, a home repair, a medical bill, a family emergency, can throw their entire monthly budget into chaos. The top 10% built-in margin on purpose. They did not calculate their retirement based on the bare minimum they could survive on. They calculated it based on a lifestyle with breathing room, because they understood that unexpected costs are not a possibility in retirement, they are a certainty. If your income exceeds your expenses every single month, with money left over rather than money you are stretching to make work, you are in a position that a large majority of retirees are still trying to reach. So let us recap the 6 signs that you are ahead of 90% of retirees. Your net worth is at least 5 times your annual expenses. You carry 0 high-interest debt. You have multiple income streams beyond Social Security. You have a real healthcare and long-term care plan. You know your exact withdrawal strategy. And your lifestyle costs less than your income, with room to spare. If you hit all 6, congratulations, you are genuinely in rare company, and you should feel confident about where you stand. If you hit 3 or 4, you are already doing better than most, and you have a clear roadmap now for closing the remaining gaps. And if you are just getting started, that is okay too. Every single person in the top 10% started somewhere, usually with far less than they had hoped for at some point in their journey. The difference was not luck, it was a decision to actually plan, instead of just hoping things would work out. If this video gave you some clarity on where you stand, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really does help the channel. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this one, because next week, we are going deeper into exactly how to build these income streams from scratch, no matter where you are starting from. Drop a comment and let me know, out of these 6 signs, which one are you most confident about and which one do you still need to work on? I read every comment, and I will see you in the next video.